Hello my friends and welcome to Paulina Art. Today we're going to be painting these beautiful spring tulips. I'm going to attach a link at the bottom on a video I did on how to do the sketch for this composition. Otherwise, I'm going to link to my Facebook below where I'm going to attach the pattern that you can download. If you want to see how I created these beautiful spring tulips, stay with me and let's paint. Today I'm working on a canvas board. This one is 9 by 12 inches and I picked up this canvas board at the Looney store. In order to prepare my canvas and make it usable, I primed it with a coat of gesso last night, and this is going to make my canvas board excellent to work with, even though it was an inexpensive canvas board from the Looney store. I have already transferred the pattern onto my canvas. This pattern is going to be on my Facebook page. I'm going to attach a link below on the description box so you can download the pattern if you like. I've also created a video on where I show you how to create this pattern. I'm going to link the video at the bottom as well. Now I have created several shades of pinks and purples using my white, my purple, and my red. I want the sky to look like early spring morning. I want the sky to have pinks and purples, and I want my tulips to be purple. Of course, you can choose whatever colors you like. You can even do it the other way with a purpley sky and pink tulips. That would look beautiful as well. I'm going to start with my sponge. I'm going to do the background with my sponge. Because my pattern is already on the canvas, I know exactly where I want to do my background colors. I wash my sponge, I rinse all the water out, and I wringed it with a paper towel. I'm going to pick up the lightest color. I always like to start from the lightest color. I'm going to pick up this nice pinky purpley color, and now with my sponge, I'm going to start to apply that onto my background. Just softly in a rounded motion like this. I'm picking up now a little bit of the light purple, and I'm blending a little bit with the clean side of my sponge. And then I'm going to add a little darker pink. You can play with your colors until you're happy with your background. I'm going to do the bottom. I'm going to pick up some of my vintage white with this very soft round brush. This is a Real Techniques eye makeup brush, but it works really well to create soft effects. I'm wetting my brush and removing the excess water, and I'm going to come up and pick up a little bit of white and try to remove the excess out of the brush. And I'm going to create some softness in my painting. Just softening the edges a little bit. Adding some little circles if you like. Creating a little bit of a bulky or watercolor effect. Could go on some areas and add a little more contrast if I like. More purple around here. Once you're happy with your painting, we are going to let it dry a little bit, and we're going to prepare the color to paint the leaves at the background. For the leaves at the background, I think the front ones I'm going to make a little bit darker, and the ones at the back I'm going to make them a little bit lighter, maybe just to create a little bit of perspective, to create the illusion that the ones at the back are actually a little bit further back. For the leaves, I'm going to use this brush. The brand is Midin, and it's a number 6. The way I choose this angle brush is I make sure it's wide enough to do the job that I need the brush to do. I dip my brush in water and I remove the excess water. I'm going to dip it into my gel medium. Sorry about the noise outside there cleaning up the snow. We had a big dump of snow this morning. Okay, I'm going to dip my brush in the medium. My main color is going to be green, so I always start with my main color. To warm up the green, I'm going to add a little bit of yellow. And I'm going to pick up a little bit of white on the heel of the brush, and a little bit of the green again at the toe to make that a little bit darker. And this is the color that I'm going to use for my back leaves. I'm going to see where my back leaves are. I see one there. So I'm going to start, all these are my back leaves. So I'm going to start with them first. I'm going to do this one. So I think it starts around here. So I'm going to press my brush and I'm going to bring it up. I'm going to press into the canvas, just like that, and I'm going to follow my leaf, and then I'm going to start coming up into the chisel, and I'm going to go over it again. And there we go. I'm going to go ahead and paint all the ones that I perceive to be in the back the same way. Going over some of my tulips, but that is okay. We're gonna bring them out later on. You can always go over the ones that you're not super happy, or add a few more. I think I'm gonna add another one in here. These ones are on the front, and these ones are on the front, so I can go ahead. I'm going to add another one in here. I'm not too sure I like this one, so I'm just going to go like this, and there we go. I'm going to do the ones in the front. Maybe I'm going to choose a little bit darker color. I'm picking up my green for the front ones. And I'm going to add a little bit of purple at the toe, just to make them a little bit different from the back ones, just like that. And we're going to do it the same way. I'm going to start doing this one. It's important to have a lot of medium so the paint flows nicely. You can always go over it just like I'm doing now. You can clean it up if you like, when I clean up a little bit there. Up the edge, make the leaf nice and pointy like that, just with an angled brush with a little bit of water. Now if you see gaps, a few gaps in here like I'm seeing on my painting, that's okay. We can go ahead and add more leaves. As you can see, I'm not following the pattern exactly. I'm adding a few leaves as I need to. I'm going to add a couple of lighter leaves at the bottom. Sometimes if you go lighter at the back, darker at the front, and maybe a few light ones at the front, some light ones at the front again, it will give a really nice perspective. So I'm going to add a couple little ones in here. Now while my leaves dry, I'm going to add a little bit of white to my tulips, especially the ones that are covered with leaves. For that I'm going to use just an old round brush, and I'm going to pick up some white paint and just go around some of my tulips that are covered with green. Just going to add a little bit to my other ones too, since I'm at it. I don't want any of this green showing through my tulips. Oh, almost forgot this little one in here. She was hiding. Okay, my friends, we're gonna let these tulips dry, and while they are drying, we can start doing some of the stems. For the stems, I'm gonna use the same brush that I was using, an angled brush, Midin number 6, and I'm gonna use the same colors as I use for my leaves. I might make them like the front leaves a little bit darker so I can see them, so they can pop up a little bit more. And I'm going to load up my brush the same way. I have my main color is green, and I have a little bit of purple at the toe and a little bit of white and yellow on the heel of the brush. And this is what I'm going to use to do the stem of my flowers. We're going to add another leaf in here later, just to cover that area. I'm going to add a leaf in here to cover this area. One here, one in here. To paint my tulips, I have put my canvas board flat on the table. I think this is probably going to be easier for me. And you can see what I'm doing really good, I think. These are going to be the colors that I'll be using for my tulips. I have my medium in here. And my main color is going to be purple. Up a little bit of white on the toe, and I'm going to add a little bit of red on the heel of the brush. This is how I'm loading my brush. I just want to give them a little bit of red as well. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do the bottom of my tulip, make it nice and round, and this is how I'm holding the brush, and I'm going to press into the canvas and create the bottom of my tulip by making almost like a U shape. And I'm going to be doing the center petal by pressing down and going up, and I'll do the other side the same way. When I press down and go up, I'm doing my center petals. That's starting to look very pretty, like a tulip already. And with the brush loaded exactly the same way, I'm going to do my side petals. And I'm going to press with the heel first down, and then I'm going to press the whole brush and slide it up like this. And I'm going to do my other petal. I'm going to do the one on that side. I'm going to press down, and I'm going to slide the brush up and come to a point. And I'm very happy with my first tulip. I'm going to do the same for the second tulip. I'm going to do the bottom first, and I'm going to press the heel of the brush, and I'm going to do a little bit of a U following the shape of the tulip. That's my bottom to create the nice roundness of the tulip. Then I'm going to do the center petals here. I'm going to do the side petal since I'm here. And I'm going to do the last petal there. I'm going to press my brush, and I'm just going to slide it up. And in this way, I'm going to finish all my flowers exactly the same way. Okay, my friends, the tulips are painted. I am very happy the way the colors turn out. They turn out a little bit more red than purpley, but that's okay. And I like that they have a mixture of colors, because flowers are like that. It gives the flower a little bit more dimension. While my tulips are drying, I'm going to go at the bottom, and I'm going to add a little bit of darkness with my sponge. I mixed a little bit of purple with green, just so the tulips don't look like they're floating in space. So I'm going to add a little bit of darkness down here. And maybe I can add just a little bit of green in there. And just blend it with my sponge. This is totally optional, of course. I think I like it. I think I like that effect. While the tulips are drying, we can add some highlights to the leaves, to the stems. And for that, I'm going to use this small angle brush. It's the number 4 Midine. I'm going to pick up a little bit of my medium. And at the tip of the brush, I'm going to pick up a little bit of yellow and maybe a little bit of white. Just at the tip of the brush. The rest of my brush has medium. And this is what is called floating. And with that, I'm going to add some highlights to my stems. We can add some highlights to the leaves as well. We can also add a little bit of purple in some areas using the same technique, just with a little bit of purple at the tip of the brush and medium on the rest. Whatever you think is going to make your flowers look very beautiful. You can add a little bit of highlight to the tulips as well, but for that we want to make sure they're really dry. You can add a little bit of white to the tulips in some areas. I'm just blending it with a little bit of medium. We can create the effect of grass at the bottom too, using the same angle brush we use to create the leaves. We can add a little bit of greenery just by loading our brush with green and a little bit of purple at the tip and yellow at the end. We can create an effect with some branches here. This is up to you, whatever you think you're going to improve your painting or make it more interesting. We are coming to an end with this painting. I hope you enjoyed it. The last thing I'm going to do in this painting is I'm going to pick up some purple paint. Actually, it's going to be a combination of red and purple, like my tulips, and I'm going to splatter some of the color at the top of the flowers. I'm going to do that on my sink, otherwise my house is going to be full of paint. And that's the last thing I'm going to do with this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, share it with your friends, subscribe to my channel if you don't want to miss any of my content. And thank you so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.